Hello again, my name is Relax and Panic, and this is another reaction to Steins Gate. It is episode 7, and well, we are waiting for new and interesting stuff to happen, hopefully. So, as always, you know what to do. Go down into my description, follow the links that are in there. You will possibly have to replace some parts with dots, and then you will find the reaction itself. Once you've done, feel free to come back here to hear out my thoughts about the episode and what I expect to be going on in this series. See you soon. For those of you who came back, welcome back. Well, that was an interesting one. As I said in the beginning, this show is way more slow-paced than the other shows I'm reacting to right now, which always kind of pushes me off the hook a little bit, because I'm like, why is not happening more? But then on the other hand, you get a lot of informations and a lot of questions you have to ask yourself, and for me, it seems as though there are multiple storylines right now, and I am not sure if they ever will kind of fuse, if they ever will become one storyline. One of them you can see in there it is, in this picture. So we have at least the storyline of Moeka, because there is something going on. Holy heck, it's winter. I really love winter, but I'm always cold in winter. I'm always sick. However, Moeka is sending everything per email, and I really ask myself, what has happened in the past? What is the reason for that? Additionally, she is extremely shy, as it seems, but very interested in the IBN, and we still don't know why. That is one storyline. We have the storyline, which you can see in the picture right now. Which is Suzuha with, this, I guess it might be the chip she just was talking about in this episode, possibly. I don't know if she has any clue of the time travel thing. Maybe it's just about that people being chipped and she's being followed. We had that in the past too. And we have the main storyline with the time travel, CERN and everything. So, where do those connect? I am not sure. Well, whatever. Let's go in one by one. We started off with Moeka taking a memento pic of Rintaro. So she, I'm asking myself if she may really have problems with her memories, and she needs pictures to remember people and moments. That might be one option. Or the other option is, and that is very far-fetched again. What if whenever a timeline jump happens, everyone is getting deleted, everyone loses their memory? What if either her mobile does keep the pictures, or she is sending those pictures through time to herself as well? So when there was a time travel, it is not really time travel, it is an alternate timeline swap. She has the memories and the messages to remember everything. I think that might be a valid option. And but it would mean that she is aware of those things happening. I'm not sure how much she is in it already. But I think that is something that might be. She is like either just for herself or for everyone, keeping the memento of what happened in this time with those time machine experiments, as example. However, that is something that freaks, without any question, Ocarina off, because he doesn't like to be taken pictures of and whatever. Still thinking of the big organization following him along, which right now becomes like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because the more he's going with this, the more he's doing with this machine, the more likely it is that CERN will realize he's there, somewhen, somehow, somewhere. They tried an experiment, very selflessly, going for the lottery. There were two things. So it was clever that he went for third prize. You're not having the light on you as much as if you would win the big one. So that was clever. It didn't work out. Well, whatever, but the experiment worked, so fine. Once again, I really, really can understand why a lot of people like Mayushi. She's extremely, from what I know by now, extremely positive, extremely likable, you know? She's just a nice person. So, and even Moeka could feel that when she was offered the cushion and everything. So, and you can see in the later on of the episode that that gets to Ocarina as well. When he is phoning with her, he is smiling. Which we realized, and it lifts him up definitely. So there is more in the background story of those two, no question there. But she's really a positive character. I like her. So let's just hope nothing bad ever happens to her, because I wouldn't like that. While they were talking, and he was ignoring the emails of Moeka, he thought that means she can take the IBN. And she was half out of the door, which I really like. It is, it is the thing. If you ignore me, I will do what I want. And it's not like negative. She was like, if you don't want it, just answer. Which is strange. I mean, she could see him not watching the phone, but as I said, she behaves strange in many ways. So still ask myself what it is with the IBN that it is about. I guess that will take a little bit more time, some more episodes, and I wouldn't be surprised if there would be something very grave, very important connected to the main story. And it is like, if we could have had that like episodes before, it would have helped a lot. But well, whatever. That's how the story goes. To the shift, I will call it shift, that happened for everyone, and only Ocarina is the one that remembers. So that is the interesting thing, and he asked himself that. We asked ourselves that in the first episode, first to second. How is it that he is the only one remembering? It might be a very strange, unique ability, but it would work, It's just like there's like 1% of mankind, or one even less, that has the ability to remember shifts. Which, by the way, would explain a lot of psychic problems people have, that they believe they are someone else, or stuff alike, Deja vu effect, as example, might be an effect of that. But I wouldn't be so happy with that. It would be okay. I could live with that. But I really would like this series more to go into that something happened to him in the past. Maybe someone influenced him, scrambled with his DNA. I don't know, stuff like that. Which, by the way, would make all his delusional ways of working and acting way more realistic. Because would mean someone did stuff with you. So, we will see. He went down and met Suzuha. For a second, for a second to 5, I was like, is she able to see that he switched the timelines? Because she like jumped him because he was behaving strangely, and watched in his eyes and everything. So there was a moment when I was like, is that maybe why she is in? Is she somehow able to see if people are from another timeline? But instead she was checking if he has a chip. I still have the shadow of a doubt if maybe she can see it. But if so, then she would be a really, really good actor. Because everything afterwards really seemed as though she completely was about the chip. And what we had in the past before in the other episodes, when there was this helicopter and she was afraid of being followed, it all fits way more into her story of chip people. Which brings me to this picture. I am not sure what it is. I mean, I was thought, is it like a metal piece of an uniform or anything? Thing that she talks about people being shipped, it is very likely the ship that she may have found in herself. We don't know. Or in someone she knows. or new in this case. I am not sure about that. The symbol, it might be just that it should show like a circuit or stuff like, but it might very well be a symbol of an organization or a like. So it's like circle with a dot in and a line through. So might be a symbol of an organization. And by the way, having one circle, Large Hadron Collider is a circle. Or I'm not sure, it might be like an ellipse. I'm not 100% sure about that one. However, another story. Connected or not sure yet. I had that one. Yeah, then we came to the emails with John Titor. So John Titor states that 1% divergence between the timelines is the number that is important. I am not completely sure if I got that right, but if I understood it correctly, John Titor wants to have more divergence than 1%. So change bigger things. Just small things changing 1% or below will always lead to dystopia, to what we guess CERN is actively or however working on. I'm not sure if CERN is really working for a dystopia. They possibly tend to think they do things for a good reason. But it seems that the world is going towards a dystopia and they have an influence on it. If John Titor's right and you are able to change the future more than 1%, and I guess he's talking like worldwide effects, then there is a chance we get away from this dystopia. And he asks him to save the world, which is not a small boulder to carry on your shoulder. So once again, the question, who is he? He states to be from 2036, I think it was. So he states to be a time traveler. But there is where I'm like, wait a second. Here's logic. If you are a time traveler who traveled from this time to now, how come you still remember? I mean, he stated himself that you don't remember when you change stuff. Is it because he traveled to the past? So his whole body traveled. Is that maybe the difference? Because that's not very clear yet. If you travel in your in the same time, it seems you change. So if you change the past and you're back into the future, then you forget everything. Maybe that is why he's not going back to the future. Because if he would completely forget everything. That's what I think might be a reason. Because if time travel would really wipe your brain completely every time, it should do so at traveling all through times. But it makes more sense. Change your own past, your memory gets rewritten. I still think that he interfered somehow with the timelines of at least some of those characters. Not sure how yet and where yet, and especially when yet. And that is a speculation again, might be far-fetched. I'm not sure he's male. It is a name in the internet. You can call yourself little Choco Bunny in the internet if you want to, but you do not look like a Choco Bunny. So John Titor may just be a synonym. It might be female as well behind it. It might be multiple persons behind it. It might even be like a huge computer behind it. No idea. And if this is possible, then it might very well be someone who is already in the area around of Ocarin is the person naming himself John Titor. Which means, what if it is, as example, the good Moika? She's writing emails all the time and being on the net possibly all the time, so she might be very well. It might be Suzuha, although I don't see her very much into that. She's not active enough with online media, what I've seen so far. And she, at least for me right now, believable, doesn't react enough to time travel. It might be Christina. And I possibly should rewatch the scene when he was writing the emails, because she was sitting in the shadows behind him on the couch, which might be a good option to write emails without being seen. But she mentioned already that her father in the past had something to do with time travel and had problems due to it. So maybe it's him. So many options. We really do not know. We really do not know. I just want to keep the mind open that John Titor is not male and unknown. He might very well be female and known or male and known. We don't know. And he's just knowing that. So just think about if you're in the future and you read, you learn in school, the first whoever was able to time travel was Ocarina in Japan. And then you get access to some kind, however, a time travel machine. So there's always this question. Who would you know, it's one of those questions in parties and so on. If you would be able to time travel, who would you visit? It's which important and famous character in all of time, in the world history, would you visit? Genghis Khan, Napoleon, no clue, you know? Why not the people in the future would say, I would like to see the person who invented time travel. We know there's CERN as well, but he might be important in the future. So what if someone is visiting him, and then we are at timey-wimey stuff again, by visiting him, causes him to do the first time, you know what I mean. Yes, the alternate timelines kind of stop this option, I know. However, interesting option. So many questions, no answers at all. But it is good. I really like this series. I felt way more, how to say, entertained and drawn into this episode than the last one. I'm not sure why. Maybe I'm in a better mood. Might be. So I really look forward to what's going on, what will happen additionally. I really still wait for Moeka's background story. That will be interesting, I think. Same for Suzuha. But the one I'm kind of afraid of, you know, but still really wait for is the one of Mayushi. Because she is just lovely and something had happened in the past, and I'm interested how those two, Mayushi and Ocarina, met. And why it is that she has such a positive influence on him, which I think is really necessary. So, that's it for this time. I hope you liked this. As always, please feel free to subscribe, like, and leave a comment. You're very welcome to discuss my theories as long as you don't spoil, you know. Yeah. That's it. Until the next time, my name is Relax and Panic. Goodbye and out.